Good evening, folks. Samson to Labrador Public Radio. We're still trying to resolve the issue here tonight, but I want to thank all of you again for tuning in. Our first thing tonight is going to be a very interesting one. The issue is on the other foot tonight. Yes, yes, I say so. The shoe is on my foot. The shoe is not on Alfonso foot tonight. I am the man tonight. But anyway, on a very serious note, I want to thank you guys. First thing for safety, Lord Jesus, we want to thank you again for bringing us by here again tonight. We ask you, my Lord, to give us wisdom as we come out here. My Lord, we ask you to continue to bless all of us, protect us. Lord Jesus, we ask you to bless the country of the Republic of Liberia. We ask you to bless the leaders, give the leadership the wisdom to do what is good for our people. Bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right. So tonight is a very interesting dynamic that's going to be happening here tonight. The men that are going to bring on, hey, you see, you're going, Jesus Christ, you wonderful. Yeah, Jesus. Eh? What? All right, let me bring the men on. I don't want, we're already late, but on a very serious note, those of you that follow my posting within the last day or so, tonight was supposed to have been night with the Boston District Association. We're going to be having that convention here very shortly. But because of technical issue from where they said we were unable and we are unable to bring them on tonight. And Mr. So graciously allow and agree to join me here as a courtesy to the liberal because he didn't want me to be out here, be stranded alone. And so, as a good gentleman, you see, I don't even invite you to put yourself on shit. I didn't even invite you to put yourself on show. But as a gentleman and the LPR boss, he felt that the need. I know you are very busy, but he felt the need to join me here. So, Mr. So, thank you very much. Take it away.
What are you doing? What are you doing with my camera?
Nobody touching your camera.
Yeah, you started off with introduction. You're going to be interesting. I don't know what difference you're going to make here tonight. So I feel you're some sort of supernatural. As you're a total man. I know you, my man. I'm going to take an African man at that rate. So what's going to be the difference here tonight?
What the difference here? Because I am in control. At least I think I'm in control. Let me put it that.
Oh, you think?
Let me clarify that quickly before Babusta Divine Cola here. I think I'm in control. But anyhow, go ahead, Mr. So. Thank you very much for coming, folks. Again, Samson To conversation with Samson To. With, like I said, we were supposed to have the Boston District Organization leadership should have been here tonight, but because of technical issue, and that is beyond my control, and our technical man, Nantano Crypo, is working on it. Hopefully, we'll reschedule it for us go and see if they can come in. But in the meantime, Mr. So, please go ahead. So, open mic. So, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. To, good evening as usual. I'm not sure what's going on with my camera. Please take your phone from in the water. This is America. Please take your hands and your feet from in the water from Taiwan. We're not in Granger. This is America. I don't know why my camera is so blurred. Let me see here.
What I'm doing right now, folks, I'm sharing. So please bear with us here as we go on sharing here. And so, anyhow, it's an open topic here tonight. You guys know you can join us anytime. As soon as Mr. So open it up, you can join us, and then we can all have the conversation about Liberia. But let me point this in. Let me point it out to you. Those of you that are watching, tomorrow morning, very early in the morning, 9 o'clock Eastern time, I will be hosting some folks, big money people that are taking on the responsibility of financing the project that is coming on. They've already signed an MOU with the Ministry of Public Works. They're going to be financing the coastal river. Remember the coastal highway. Remember the coastal highway that brought all the confusion and what have you. Well, it's starting all over again, but this time they have some serious intellectual Liberians are part of the group financing group that are going to be, and they're going to be joining me tomorrow. The president, President Fernando Spark, going to be with us. He's the president of the company CTPI, no CTIP financing company. They're going to be with us, and they will tell us how they think this multi-billion dollars project going to be taken care of. Not only that, they also work in Senegal. They have a working progress in projects in Senegal, in Ghana, in Gambia, in Uganda, and all over Africa. In fact, the guy that I'm going to be talking to tomorrow has already been invited by NBC to come and give them the NBC folks. This guy, the president, going to give them, since he's been in Africa for a while now, and he's going to give them an update what is happening with respect to Africa and development. So this man that I'm going to be hosting tomorrow is not somebody's slice. And one interesting thing that's going to be happening, you will hear the young man is a Liberian. He will tell you, because they're the one that go out and seek finances for projects all over the world. And he told me this evening, he said, Mr. Toe, I'm going to hide it from you. The social media, we Liberian, the way we behave on social media and things we say on social media is killing us. He said, when we go out to talk about financing and what have you, a lot of financing, big company don't even want to talk to us because they think, say, as soon as they hook with us, Liberian going to tell what's happening with their company and cause each other up. And he said it's really hurting us as Liberian, giving us the opportunity for us to go and solicit fund and lobby for fund. But every time you go, they say, oh, you're from Liberia. Then they open the website. They open Liberian media website, and they can be cussing each other. They show you know who cussing who, you know what. It's unbelievable how much this thing we say we're doing on Facebook, how much the international community are tuning in. And he will talk about that tomorrow. So please join up, Mr. So please take it away while I'm doing this shit.
All right. I'll try to make adjustment to my camera here. Hopefully, please take your less for in the war. Okay, the Liberal Progressive, we want to welcome our viewers. Thank you so much. This is what we sign up for. Folks, just bear with me. All on my camera been very fantastic. Now he asked me to come tonight. He's
you show your camera now fantastic, that fantastic.
Yeah, it always been, but it would get clear. Oh, hold on one second. I think something that I just noticed here. Okay, I gotta get this other light on. Okay, we want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you so much for joining us here. As usual, we always like to make news proportionate. Let's take a little bit review of some of the news happenings across the globe. In the news business, you have to be your brother's keeper. Don't just talk about news right under your feet or something that interests you. The entire war is a collaboration, it's a partnership. So we pray that the whole world is in good shape in terms of businesses and whatever. But yeah, where it's coming from, according to France 24, Senegal ruling coalition loses parliamentary majority. Man, that's a blow. Senegali ruling coalition loses absolute majority in parliament. So that's a problem. If the opposition, they were in charge, and if they manage, whatever happens to kind of kick it down there is crazy. DR Congo to release its withdrawal plans of United Nations peacekeeping mission. Are they trying to expel these people from peacekeeping? Well, as usual, Senegal oppositions are crying foul of alleged fraud in legislative elections in Senegal. Well, those are news coming from inside Liberia. But something that is very much interesting means this afternoon we are trying to get a nap, and our guide, our correspondent based in the provincial city of Vanyamant, Thomas Yense, reported. In fact, it was a live stream. I get a video here. And this speaks to the volume of the tension that is building. In fact, it's already there. I am concerned or frown on this sort of militancy or militant situations of political parties, ruling establishments having groups called brigade or militant, whatever group, it's a problem. It's a red flag. But right now we are not talking about it, because if it is in my favor as a partisan of maybe from the ruling party or the opposition, it is. We also see massive preparations. Representative Yeke Koluba, he said what brigade for the protections of the opposition. Now, I don't know how these things are coming about. I don't know why advocacy group or there is no enough national conversation. It is serious. Students all involved, more or less, students is taking a political line. There was a newspaper out today regarding Moses Carter, who is the police spokesperson. I personally tried to reach out. I did not get him, but I spoke with a senior commissioner who I managed to make friends with, just getting a ride like, hey, what's going on? This is what we see flooding. But I checked, I didn't see no any official statement, even though it was something reported from front page. I don't know where they got that from. Try to check with the news bureau decks, Linda Dodu. No response. But I didn't see no official statement, neither coming from the police, the Ministry of Justice, and nothing is visible yet at on the official website of the executive mansion, because ultimately this is where this kind of information going to be coming from. However, how did it come about? What is the conversations taking place behind the scenes and all of that? But we're going to have a mic open here this evening. And Lebron, let me just tell you now, if you think that you are, oh, I heard you saying you are a little bit in charge, right?
I say, I think I am in charge.
You think. Yeah. Last night you were in charge. We were all over the place having a Cinderella story, and I was like, where I was sitting, and somebody said, "Oh Lord, who is that guy?" So I don't know, but let's see what happened. But these are news that are happening, and I got a video here. According to our correspondent, I don't know. In fact, he wanted to come on to tell us the latest update. We are hearing the Lofa Community College is the student that shut it down, and there's some other people were being here all the night, allowing people to come out. So I don't know where all of this kind of, it's crazy. But we're going to play that. But let me just go in your playbook. I don't know what you have, but since it's going to be an open mic, more or less, we're going to look at some of the news making headlines. But it seems to me the fallout of this July 26th is still a big hit on GOL. They will not come out to admit it, but there are a lot of conversations ongoing, and I don't know what going to be the repercussion of what's going to be happening. But the president, from time to time, the president of the Republic of Liberia, and this is something that I really feel bad for. He's been mismanaged, especially his communication team. Um, yes,
Yeah, but Mr. Toh,
mismanaged.
I think the CDC and this administration has to be very careful as well how they deal with this stuff, because if for some reason, because the folks that have been arrested, they are members of CDC. There's no question asked. I'm not too sure if they are COP, CDC, COP, which I don't believe they have, but they are members of CDC. Now, I believe that everyone is now following the lead of the president. Remember, before the president came out, Moses Carter was not on board. I don't think the police, national police, were on board. I just didn't play the entire video yesterday after they took that young man away.
Moses Carter is subjected to instruction.
Right, and that's what I'm saying.
Let's
That's
also know that.
right, and that's the point that I'm making. So Moses Carter cannot just speak out of a sudden, out of it has to be people give him instruction, higher ups. So the entire security apparatus was not on board until the president spoke. When the president spoke, that he condemned it, and then everyone, including Serena Sifa, who sent a lengthy writing today on Liberal Public Radio page, chat room, and I read it. Well, I was laughing, but the point here is this: in fact, there's already a debate in the courthouse right now where the judge is giving these people bail, and the prosecutor are saying that these people are flight breaks and they shouldn't be given such an opportunity now. And he also saying that the city court, the Maria City Court, should not have jurisdiction on these. So I'm waiting to see, because if Judge Weir does not speak to it, the City Court jurisdiction honor this I
If
think
Josh, we had, if Josh, we hadn't do one.
the judge, the city,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So if Dr. Weir is not able to speak to it and say we want fair and free trial, the
Should he
city
speak to
judge,
it?
huh?
Should he speak to it?
Well, no, I don't think so. Because this is all judiciary from this point on. He has already made his point. But what I'm saying is, and I said that yesterday, I said it clearly, that people will come who think that they're doing you a favor, who think they're doing things in your interest, and they will come and do it without you even being informed. Now, I'm not saying that this judge is going to be one of those, but this judge have always have issue with Yeka Koluba and the opposition, Judge Yala Kuma, whatever his name is. But he's one of them. He's the one leading the charge now, or try and these and the crime that was charged. Those are bailable crime. You can build somebody out of that. But the prosecutor is saying these people are flight risk, and the judge and the lawyer for these guys are arguing it. Now, some of the other information that we're getting, I'm not too sure how true that is. That the city mayor is the one that flipping the bill. I'm not too sure how true that is either. I'm just putting it out there because I've been reading about that. Now, if all of these things are all true, then the case is going nowhere. But if they take this thing serious, as the president seemed to suggest, if they take this thing serious and prosecute these young people to the full extent of the law, nothing more, nothing less, that would teach us.
What is the interpretations of prosecute these people? What is involved?
Excuse me. What do you say? What's your question?
Are you here to force with me?
What is your question?
I'm asking you, say, if they prosecute these people, the emphasis being placed on what, the visual, the demonstration, something being. I'm kind of like curious to know to what extent when you say they prosecute those people. What
When
are you?
when I say prosecution, I mean adjudicate the case. Now, I'm not saying that these people are guilty already. The word prosecution does not equate to guilt.
Okay.
But it's the process. It's an investigative process. It's the process where the court, the judges, and the lawyers, the prosecutors use that process to determine the guilt or innocent of those being charged. Now, I'm saying if they do it fairly, Liberian will accept it. Even if they come out not being guilty, Liberia will accept it.
What is the definition do it fairly?
Well, for example, if the prosecutor is saying that these young people are flight risk, and if he can provide evidence, or if he can provide something, some such and gender evidence, or whatever it is, that the judge and the public can view to be credible, yes. But if the prosecutor is saying this because certain people within the corridor of power want these children or these young men to remain in jail, then it's something that is not going to be taken kindly. And then that will be, for me, that's something that I will not accept as well. Now, on the other hand, if the judge bamboozle his way through and let the prosecutor not be able to present the evidence for which he's claiming that these people are flight risk, if he's not able to present that, and the judge just put his weight all over the place and accept the children to be free, which I think perhaps they've already done, and then somebody come missing, not coming back to court, then it's on them. And it's that at that particular point, I believe that would affect the government of the Republic of Liberia.
Is
Because
it fair for us to give this? Is it fair for us to give a sort of intensive conversation at this point in time?
yes, yes, and not so much of of trying to glorify the violent. I don't believe that, but this requires
No,
all
I'm
of us.
talking about the legal processes involved.
Yes,
And I
yes,
think,
yes. And the reason here, Mr. Soul,
do
I
you have apprehensions?
no, none,
Across-
none whatsoever. I just want them. I just want all of us that are in the social media realms, that those of us that carry out talk shows and interview and what have you, we should focus on these things. It's very important. And here's my reason. Here's my reason. Most of the people that were involved were all young. You didn't find anybody in the street at my age. You didn't find anybody being brutal at my age. They were all young. And they need to understand that the law of Liberia applies to everyone, young or old. Young or old. So if we do that, if this case is looked at from the young Liberian perspective, and they feel that they can obtain justice, then the court and the judiciary system will be respected by the young people. Those are the same young people tomorrow that will take charge of the system itself. But they must
Are
start
you
showing
sure
respect
the
now.
politicians of today are giving way to the young people to take charge? Is there any evidence?
Well, they have no choice. They have no choice.
Who don't have no choice?
The old politicians of today have no choice.
Who are
The
those?
age,
Who are those? Who are those old
Mr.
politicians?
So I will have to go through that again. I don't want to call names.
Do you confide in the judiciaries or the court processes, be it the Supreme, lower, different court system? Do you confide, trust the
I
court?
have to. I have to. I must accept the court system, the judiciary system in Liberia as one that has the ability to discern who is guilty or innocent. Because if I become somehow dismissive of the process, dismissive of the system itself, then I'm doing myself disservice. Because I can't go to Guinea and borrow the judiciary system from there. I can't go to Sierra Leone and borrow that. I must deal with the system that is given to me by the people of the Republic of Liberia. And that's the system we have. And we have to operate within that system.
All right, I think the system plays out well for you. Last night you were off the grid, you were just something. So I believe that confidence is still there. But on the other hand, though,
So before you move on, let me bring something up very quickly, and with respect to last night conversation of my case from the Supreme Court. Quite frankly, I have written some reminder and written responsibility of myself, and written what I consider to be like a contract, where I told myself, no matter how the case turned out, the fact that I was given the opportunity to express myself freely in front, not me personally, but my lawyer, to express my interest freely in front of the Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia, that I was going to come out, well, no matter how the case turned out, I was going to come out and eat crow of my past behavior, condemning the system, condemning the justices, and I was going to come out to eat crow, which I did last night.
Guess what? I got a bad news for you.
What is it?
Apparently, when you were talking, screaming at about 3:30 to 4 o'clock this morning, I got a call, multiple phone calls. And the people in total, they said, Mr. So, that papi, that thing where you were talking, when you call, you said, man, let you can't hear. Let you can't hear. Let you say, man, let you can't hear. Let you say that up there be talking. Okay, no, but Actually, the message when were and there is a conversation. It's clear that you took the, and this is why we have to challenge the system. We have to put the system up to test. Judiciary matters. It's a sort of they are very dedicated cases or issue. But everyone, all of us have our own self-interpretation to relative to how we understand the case and our positions in society, our political attachments, associations, sympathy, empathy, and all of these things factor in. So we give these things sort of our own interpretations in making quick decisions ahead of people who are to, because just how you and I talk about it and other ordinary person out there, that's not how that's not how the law going to interpret it. The law is not looking at circumstantial evidence. There, you see the on like the ongoing investigation here. Yes, the physical actions they were all perfected. We saw people all took other things, but what are they doing? They are still going through the process. And I think that's the intolerant part of us. We as most of us as librarians, sometimes we render judgment without verdicts are handed down without giving the other side. Yes, much the process was bad. But what really I want to speak to is the government own GOL own position. Uh, I was wondering where was the Ministry of Information? And this is not just only within the government, the oppositions, and it even happening within our own community here. Having multiple speakers on critical issue. When people like the late C. Alonzo Carpet, Moses Washington, those are veterans, even Patrick Kumeya, former presidential press secretary right here in Minnesota, when they are critical issue, they are trained people who are skillful, who has the ability to fine tune the message, to stabilize even when it is at zenith tension. They have people who can do that. But in today's society, today's government, party, ruling party, opposition, everybody wake up and say anything. And when the going gets tough and the tough gets going, then they back off. That's why it's happening. Yeah. First and foremost, at that thing, the very first person who was or first institution to have addressed that and perhaps who have stabilized it, and that President Weah and the government, and I would say the Republic of Liberia. You remember, I think we had that conversation here. We had a conversation. There's always pro-government demonstrators. You always see that there will always be an opposing side. It's always happening here. But the government must intercede to create that barrier to a voice, and then sort of a complete breakdown of law and order. That we didn't see happen. That was disappointing. The Ministry of Information were completed, they were in, they were sleeping, they were having fun time, and they failed to realize that this thing was bust up on them.
Mr. So, once again, and people can...
Yeah, Paul Allen Weir. Thank you, George Toby. You know, I don't understand the people nowadays, people, as if they can't even go back to see some of these people, or is it's so, I mean, I don't understand. And with these people, even who are opposition like that, it would be the same old thing when they even get there, because they are not practicing, they are not tutoring themselves, they are not positioning themselves to really to take charge, to conduct themselves as effective government where people will have real national conversation with you. It's not happening.
Yes, Mr. So it's very sad. I keep playing these videos. The president and people can accuse me of being undercover sedition, whatever.
Because you are unstable. Nobody knows
you are my guest here tonight. Just remember that.
I'm not guest.
Oh, you're not a child. That's what I say. I'm not too sure if I was in control. Anyway, but that's besides the point. Mr. So, the liberal is speaking. Let the liberal finish his point. And you not, I mean, you're conservative for some reason when the liberals are making point that is so clear and so acceptable by many, many millions and millions of people. You come and
Are
interject.
you moving the Trump or Donald Trump?
Mr. So,
Million,
let me,
million,
I'm
million.
speaking. Mr. So, the liberal is on the floor. But anyway, this is what I'm going to say. It doesn't matter what they call me. Call me undercover sedition. It really doesn't matter to me. I know who I am. Your hair ain't my mom, my hair ain't your mom. I'm
Yeah,
cool. You can't do nothing to me. My job is to be factual. Mr. So, there's a video out there that I played last night where the president of the Republic of Liberia took the bullhorn, and he wasn't just talking to the audience at the time, but he was speaking to every Liberian, be member of the executive, member of the judicial, member lawmaker. It doesn't matter. He's saying to every one of us, he said, don't tell me thank you. I'm the one supposed to tell you thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve you. Whatever that I'm doing it because of the opportunity you give me. It's my job. I will do it. But here's the issue here, Mr. Soul. Most of these people that are in the executive, first of all, the executive is not decentralized. So instead of information coming from here and going up, the information comes down like that. So that means the control of the main topic, what is to be discussed, is held up here. And this is what exactly happening. If this government have given true autonomy to many of these agencies within the executive, to say you have the full power to speak on issue truthfully, don't worry about me. If you say something that is not quite correct, I'll fire you. That's fine. But make sure you do it with the interest of the country. This is what happened to what's his name?
This is what I have problem. This is what I have problem with you,
Mr. So, how are you gonna not let me finish my statement? I'm entitled to it. You're acting that now you're behaving like CDC COP, and I'm the student unification party here tonight, and you're trying to brutalize me. Yeah, but Mr. So, you're interrupting me when I have the freedom, I have the will to speak my mind freely. But because it doesn't suit your taste, you're going to interrupt me. You're acting like the CDC COP right now. So, I'm not going to run away from you, unlike the student union. And the Student Unification Party, they didn't run. They escaped in a sense of trying to save the country. I say so. Mr. So, let me make my point. So when this is exactly what happened to Mr. Carter. Even look at a video that you played some time ago with Jefferson Kochi coming from JFK, dancing, knowing fully well that his former school that he just graduated from, member of that school, were brutalized. And all of those people were watching the video because it was live. It was live. And when the ice came, look how easy and simple explanation he gave. Until the president came up to make that point, many of them were saying nothing. Nothing. They was okay with it until the president came up. Now, you can say, well, it took the president some time. Well, then let me throw it back at you this way. As a sensible person, you don't just rush into these kinds of stuff. The president is leading a country where you have security apparatus, different security apparatus. You have executives that have all of these agencies. They have to funnel in their report of what was happening, what was unfolding. And based on that report, he has to make the judgment call. And this is what you call the president. But Liberian wanted him to jump and immediately that's in there. Oh, what the president? No. If he had jumped in, I would have criticized him. But I'm okay with him taking his time to speak. And now people are saying, well, because the international community pressure him. What if he say, I'm not saying nothing to come to America, that he come to America 5 years, a change, nothing. But you have to give him some credit, for goodness sake. You have to give him some credit. So, Mr. So, I'm just saying that the government of Liberia, the fact that they have not given many of the agencies or true power to speak truly. That's what affecting them. You have the president have to come out and make this statement before. If somebody from the Justice Department, if the Minister of Justice Department come out and make that statement right away, this is not going to be a tolerated in this country. We fought hard for this kinds of peace. I don't care whether you COP, WP, or CDC, nobody. We're all Liberian. We will not treat each other like that, like what we have. That kinds of statement would have neutralized the international community statement, would have neutralized the U.S. getting involved with the international community to make that press release. But it didn't happen. They failed the president once again. And the president, now because the international community were not wasting their time, they came and responded quickly. And then the president like, oh, well, if everybody who was supposed to bring the ball for me to score the goal, they're not bringing the ball, let me go grab the ball and score the goal myself. He did it before in his soccer career. So he did it. He just did it again here.
You would be a terrible advisor. Anybody who would made a mistake and say they're taking Samson to be some kind of counsel to the, it would be Joseph Boyka. If he really rely on you, then I feel for him already. Last night, you were arguing the point. Now you are flip-flopping here. Now you more than me this evening here. You are flip-flopping, telling us, and telling your audience because you want to gain favor. Or CDC or COP. You were the same person here last night alluded that there is nothing like COP CDC. Now you're throwing it at me. But that's okay. That's who you are. You always try to appease and try to get people on your side, which of course your people don't like you. They don't like you, and you try to force them. But here is the thing. I think the president should be held responsible. The idea of why the people didn't come up with the information, so people who are supposed to speak, they didn't speak. It's not in isolation. It's not of yesterday event. It has been ongoing from time to time. And that's what the folks that are around the president, be it the communication team. I had a conversation with Smith Toby before, and even Solo Kebwe when he came for the Ajat convention like 2 years ago. He's a friend, schoolmates, everything. But the problem, the leader to have to unveil himself, openness, and be willing to hear things sometimes that are difficult that he doesn't even want to hear. So if I'm working, you're working with me, and you're my boss. And I know the kind of type of person that, your style, your leadership style, or things that you do are going to be very careful. Who doesn't want a job? Everybody want a job. Very few people stand out for principles and ethical values. And this is what that is not happening in the country. First of all, if I were a communication person close to the president, in communication, visual is very, very much important. It influences, it resonates with people. What the heck did they audio stuff with this sort of thing that grabs the whole world attention? Why the president can't face the camera? Why they didn't even talk to the president, Mr. President? Don't do that. Don't do that because
I don't think this Good Friday here gonna end well.
Good Friday, you don't even know the Bible. Today not Good Friday. What are you talking about?
But it's good to me. God is good to me. So Friday is good to me. Mr.
So listen, you're going to come, relax, get a drink. So what if folks, you are talking about a communication president? Yeah, the president, he has his own share responsibility because this is not something that they have practiced. This is not something they have learned to do, to have a chain of communication. Couple of years ago, I think they came out that release still on the executive mansion that they want to revisit the chain of their communication. There's no evidence that has been done. That very first people, he needs to get some people here to roll, and then probably they themselves will come to their senses to say, "Oh, we have a piece of job to do here. I either accept this or I don't do it." But two, the reason you see that happening. Here, the people are very bold to things because they have second things that they can survive on. Some of them are surgeons, some of them are different people, so they don't even care to be like people can. How many person you ever saw in a play there that would just come out? Very few people that would say they resign because of X, Y, Z. How many are people able to do that kind of thing? That play where Harley, right? You saw that videotape, the little girl that tipped up that person. He said, "Oh, Christmas said no cold rest. I mean, 26 finish said no cold rest. The poor can't even get a cold rest to eat." But on a serious note, all these things we could have gotten to this escalation point if the president has just made a mistake to come descend from the executive mansion or whatever Ralph he had with whatever he based, I don't know, and just go out there to
Mr.
find those people.
So,
Believe me or
Mr.
not, the
Mr. So,
genocide were being reflected. If the Ministry of Information, if they have just come out to make a sort of initial statement, what the detailed information or the doers of these people, how can they get there, and to come back and tell the people, believe me, we couldn't have, we wouldn't reach this point, but nothing like that was done. So you're not gonna blame Moses Carter, you're not gonna blame other people. That's how it has been, and he needs to change that narrative. Go ahead. I don't know you.
Mr. So, thank you very much. I hate to bust you and the Liberian people bubble here again. Look, I'm the liberal. I'm your hay fame, my hay fame in your mouth. You can't do nothing to me.
This is how you dilute.
So
This
you
is
see,
how
that's
you
the
dilute.
when
But
you were talking, you didn't want me to say anything. Now the liberal is on, you're ready to interrupt. This is unacceptable. You. In fact, I'm not even equating anything. You are the CDC COP against this liberal here tonight, Mr. So. I'm not here to please anybody. I'm here to speak what I believe to be true. I'm not here because of the audience, not because of you, not even because of Dr. Weir. I'm here to speak what I believe to be true. Let's take that. Now, I don't know. You're like, bro, you're hard to rule. The president speak. You said the man speaks, so he come too late. The president speak. The man still saw the liberal on the floor. The president speak. He speak. The man want to talk. The Mr. So, as the president, the father of the nation, I stand by whatever that I say here about the president, who is the father of the nation.
I didn't question
Mr. So, the president came out and angrily, in fact, let me make plentiful verse now because I'm going to start using an adjective. Angrily denounce the violence.
Ovenly.
I said angrily.
I'll tell you, Mr. Oven.
Okay. He was angry. And now people saying, oh, he's saying it because of election time. Where y'all want? Let the election come. If we all, I'm right here. If I'm given an opportunity, I'm going to vote against CDC. No question asked. I'm not going to hide it.
Who are you going to vote for?
Because of my difference in policy with Dr. Weir and the CDC, that does not equate to hate. I must be truthful. Call me whatever name you want to call me. I must be truthful. When I talked on CDC last night, I was being truthful. I didn't hide anything. I didn't miss any word. When it's time to criticize, I will do so, but I must do so with respect and responsibility. If I say something some days or so ago about the president and come to find out that's not true, I must be man enough to come right back here and eat crow. This is what makes me liberal. A liberal, you evolve. Not everything you say is the final, because you can't box yourself in this world.
So
with respect to you, for me, when I make that kind of statement, you say I am unstable. So be it.
No, it was in my word. It was after
I said it. It was at a specific time in a specific context.
Was a slip
you just look and start running away with it.
It's a slip
Mr. So I'm not here to define it. I'm not here to defend it. I'm not, whatever you want to say, that's fine with me. But what I want you to know,
said it though.
Liberal.
You said
I'm not here to apologize to anybody because of my liberal views.
But you said it right,
Mr. So that was almost 2 weeks ago.
You didn't do history in school. You just did engineer. You didn't get. I will bear. You didn't get that on the bearing road. You did. But here is the thing. I am not against Samson. I am not against. And sometimes, our conversation will be like this because you're from a different background and I'm from a different background. So that is very understandable. I am not against. I'm not saying why he came out. People have their own defense why he's saying that. I am just only saying the processing of information. In communication, news is something that is current. When it happens, jump on it. That's what news is all about. When it happens, jump on it. It helps to stabilize, it helps to ease tension, it helps to put to allay the apprehension that people want to build. But when you allow 24-hour something, it just becomes like a commentary. It's no longer a news, even though that talking points still going to be in the radar. We're going to still be having our conversation. I'm just saying that by this time, there are a lot of people who are working in government. They should know by this time the processing of news, the sharings of news is very vital, very, 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 very much important. And as a ruling party, they have been there for a little while. So they should be at this time to transition from other, where the offshore coming to this place, they should transition. And if they need help, they can, a lot of people out there that they can help them. I blame also the Ministry of Information. The Ministry of Information is the mouthpiece of the government. They're not Nathaniel McGee, they're not Samuel Tuwe, but if you are charged with a responsibility, if you put your foot down, people will hate you. But you know what? In the initial start, there will be some dislike. People are going to go there and say, hey, this guy here, he tries to do this, blah, 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 blah. But you are doing the right thing. First of all, it was the ministry because that video, what happens out there, was already in the diplomatic enclave. The interpretations, everything was different. America, Uncle Sam knows what happened, civil rights thing here, and all of those kind of people. People can stand here and say anything to anybody. And that's what you remember the first conversation. I said the very first thing that GOL did was the screw up. Because the people that left UL campus and they said they were going to the American embassy. I don't even know whether they had any position statement to present. That's another thing. But that alone, police presence should have been felt. First, to protect the foreign missions near the capital. That is good, first and foremost. Two, to draw that line of demarcation from the two opposing forces, the pro-government supporters and the other group. That will stabilize and it will bring what? To protect law and order. That did not happen. And we saw policemen there making fun, wearing uniform, doing all of that. So what does that tell? How can Moses Carter can just even come out and speak for himself? The police commissioner himself. Before he speak, he got to call Musa Dean. Musa Dean, they got to call other people who are closer. How can we fix it? This is why they need to have a communication crisis or whatever crisis. Why the people have the situation wrong here? They need to be learning. Because America, we say we're small America. They need to have their own situation wrong. When things come to light, there must be people there who will scramble over it and begin to figure out how to come and face the public. And not just only the public, but the outside world. You have donors, you have friendly governments near they will not be talking, but they will be watching to see how the government addresses these sort of issues. But they're not even taking that into consideration. Even if you want to advise them, nobody don't want to do that. I was just talking on the human side of the president. That's the only thing you can do because more or less it was violent in nature. So security apparatus should conduct an investigation. Why you think when something happens somewhere here in our own local state, community, city, the police, sheriff, you see, there will be a quick investigation based on the little information that they have. I don't care how the press pushed them. They say, well, right now we are still in the early stages of the investigation. We are still collecting X, Y, Z. Jack, we will not talk. David Cicilline will not talk. Depending on the nature of the case, because the president knows that also it connects him. What happened to this guy in Minnesota who saw the president? The president, his presence was felt. That's just what I was talking because it was a bad situation. First, it was on the Independence Day. It was a day. This is not a new thing. People who just running with it. There was a virtual leadership meeting. during the COVID. Now they are calling all of these people country with bad governance and different issue to have a conversation, and you manage to get such an invitation on the day of your country birthday, and you allow that kind of stupid thing to happen, and you allow days and hours, nobody get a guts, get a belly to come out to just say something. I don't care what you say, people are going to be unhappy, but it reassure people of a government or people being spontaneous to issue that's happening. That did not happen. So, uh, but and like I said, you guys, the opposition, what I would give you, what I take you today, it's gonna be the same old thing because it
Mr.
is not
So,
the
may I
anything else.
respond to your monologue here?
Go
You
ahead.
went on lengthily, mixing apple and oranges and everything, and then you expect the liberal to accept all of those things. Your conservative view. I'm just being quiet because I'm a liberal. I let people speak their mind, and so me being quiet does not mean that I have accepted your conservative view on this issue. Let me tell you again, and those who continue to write, please take this to the bank. The president, I don't care, and it really doesn't matter to me how you equate this. I'm being factual. The president, look, let's look at it from a broad perspective. Let's take our opposition hat off a minute. Let's take our George Ramos be defeated hat off. I'm in our camp as well. But let's talk as human being, and let's try to reason. The president is the head of the executive, and within the executive, you have ministers, deputies, assistant ministers that are taxed and responsible for certain things. Now, if the president is taking this long, as you say, to come and make the point, why will you not even say, okay, the people have failed the president? Those who are supposed to come and make a statement, they have failed the president.
The
And
president feels himself, not the people.
Mr. So,
He is in charge.
the
No, don't give wrong signal to our
Mr.
people.
Mr. So, will you let the liberal finish his point? Why will you act like a CDC COP now? Why will
I
you
am.
want to?
Whatever way you
Yeah,
want to
because
define
that's
me.
it. I'm speaking my mind, and you try to interrupt because it's not suiting your conservative way of thinking. I'm sorry, I'm a liberal. I have my own mind. So let me say this again. We should be able to say to the president, thank you, Mr. President, for coming out to make this point clear, because that's what every one of us wanted, to make sure that there is a fair and free investigation. And so for the president to come out and forcefully demanding that there must be an investigation, and that those who are fully responsible in the eyes of the law, in the eyes of the Liberian law, not American law, not Ghanaians law, Liberians law, must be responsible, must be held responsible for their action. You guys come out here and write all kinds of stuff about me. It doesn't matter. You guys come here and denounce me. It doesn't matter. What matter
Why
is
are you crying, baby, from this evening?
so the liberal is making his point. What matter is this: we have a system in Liberia, and the system must be given the opportunity to function freely. It might not be something or a system that suits your American dream, but it's a system we have in Liberia. Let the system function. And if the system is wrong, we will speak out. For example, there was this Associate Justice, Kabina Jina, was removed unconstitutionally. And we all spoke against that. And the ECOWAS courts re-echo our concern. That's how you do it. You don't come out because you disagree. The president came out. What more do we want us? Because it's late. Yeah, I agree, it's late. But would that have changed even if the president would speak hour after that and spoke the same language that he spoke after a week? Would that change anything? No. What this have done, what this have done, look at it, folks, look at it critically. And this is what liberal does. Look at it critically. What this time, what you consider time lapse or whatever, what it has done, it has given the security apparatus a long time to make sure they secure the conviction that should come out of this case. Because the security apparatus, those that are going to be assisting the prosecution side, they have enough time to view every footage of that video, to make sure they identify everyone on that video. Because the president has asked in the confine of the law of the Republic of Liberia that those people that, excuse me?
What is your argument?
My argument, I'm just telling you.
Because you just open.
No, I'm giving you.
You're fighting your listeners, struggling. You want them to.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying to the list because they are part of the conversation this evening. These people, they don't have to be here.
But let me
finish. See, this is what you do. CDC COP. I'm gonna be calling you CDC COP from now on. This is what you do. This is what you do. And I'm hoping that Mr. Josh will join us very shortly, and he also going to be considered independent CDC COP. I'm not even going to consider you two conservative anymore. But the point here, Mr. So, is that I'm not the viewers, those that are writing. They don't have to be here. They chose to be here because they want to be part of this conversation. So I must also address them as my brothers and sisters. They might not agree with me, but that doesn't mean that I disrespect them. I respect their view. They are entitled to their view. What they are not entitled to is the facts.
Mm-hmm.
So
here is the deal.
Yeah, what is
the deal? Because I listen to you loud and clear, and they will say, you feel their expressions, their views, their opinion being expressed here. You kind of create the feeling that they antagonize you, and this is why it just burning inside you. You jumping here and there.
No, you see, you see, folks. If you just listen to Mr. Soul, this is exactly how Liberians, all of us, something except for the liberal, by the way, except for the liberal.
Your action doesn't even represent like a liberal action.
On the floor. May I finish my point? Except for the liberal. This is exactly how many Liberians behave. You saying that because the people are writing, now you're going to interpret my feeling, what I'm feeling about their writing. By you interpreting what I feel about their writing, you're putting something else that has nothing to do with this on the floor. I have never suggested that I'm angry because of the writing. They have the right to write.
Why are you so addicted with people expressing their views?
I just explained to you. Let me go back to that again. The folks that are writing, the folks that are watching us, they want to be part of the conversation. That's why they tend to come to the Liberian Public Radio platform. And I must address them as such.
No.
I'm not speaking to Breeze.
No, that's not how not how you address.
Now you're going to tell me how I'm supposed to behave on your platform, on the Liberian Public Radio platform. You're coming up with a detective.
Let it go.
You're coming up. No, let people see. Let people see the true conservative, detective conservative that we have here on the Liberian Public. Now you're going to tell me that me, the liberal, I should now listen to you lecture me how to address the Liberian Public, speak on Liberian Public Radio, the platform of intellectual. Mr. So, that is very condescending. And you cannot bamboozle me into accepting those kinds of ideas. I'm a liberal.
I still question your liberal ideas, your liberal mind, because sometimes I wonder if you're real liberal or what kind of liberal you are. But anyway, that's it. But again, I made it crystal clear here. I am not against I'm not saying the president coming out. People who ever say what I meant, it came out, he came out late. They have their own interpretation, defense to their own interpretation or whatever it is. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying news is a concurrent, is a current event. When it happens, jump on it. That's my point here. And I feel that the folks around and you
I
say, oh,
disagree. I disagree strongly. The liberal disagree. If it happens, jump on it. No, from our standpoint, from my liberal standpoint, if it happens, don't just jump on it. Ascertain all of the facts.
you
And
know,
when you
you
have
see,
facts on hand, you can then jump
I
on
had
it.
a stage, hijack the stage.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead,
If
finish
I
it.
say jump on it, I'm not speaking in your Liberian context. Go into fight immediately, and I will bring you to the quotations of one of the Stacey Abrahams. This is what she said about leaders. Good leaders are always at the ready. Good leaders are always at the ready. That's applicable or commensurate way. Jump on it. And I say, I'm not talking about going the street south. That's not what I'm talking about here. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. But not always at the front. People will find it kind of, but what is she saying? Always at the ready is don't wait, don't manage crisis because we're not good at managing crisis. Prevent it. That's what she's trying to say here. And that's what I'm telling my president to be. You see, you so much addicted, you spy, you look. Oh, oh man. You are a complete disgrace. You're
Thank
looking
you.
at people
Thank you
who
for recognizing my talent.
who you say your device, yeah. That when let me see here. When Mr. George Topper writes, and if it's against something, then you wake up in your chair. When Mr. Abbott Doe writes, if it doesn't suit the taste of something, then your whole body is itching. Come on, a liberal don't behave like that. You even look like a real liberal.
Now, how you as a conservative, a CDC, COP, how will you know anything about liberalism? You have no clue whatsoever. You have no clue what we, the liberal, how we behave and how we do things. You don't know that. So, but anyhow,
Okay.
that's
Yeah, it's one of my argument. If you were to sit with one liberal, like you said, oh, the president is a peaceful man. He play football. He do this. He do that. But again, yeah, us not having a conversation, things happening under the watch of a peaceful person, and this is the deceit. Most of you people here, you advise the people you call your political leaders. You advise them to run late, and the country is bleeding today. Today, I'm not sure whether you were advising Helen Johnson Sirleaf or who other the people here. That's it. For us, for me, I tell you it as it is. You don't have to like it, but I feel with a deep sense of conscience, this is what I do. So you can tell somebody, you can't tell me Afonso is peaceful, but Afonso there's starving people, Afonso here doing crazy thing as head of LPR, then you say, oh yeah, he a nice guy. But so then what make me a nice person? Things terrible are happening under his watch. And we are saying, I am saying, he as a leader, based on what Stacey Abraham is saying here, good leaders are always at the ready. You get what I'm saying? But he's not at the ready.
you
And
give
then
him no,
he's
no,
not.
unacceptable. You have no idea that this man. You're making me like I'm
I don't
saying.
even know where do you stand. Who are you? Say where do
Mr.
are you
So,
for George?
I'm
Are
not
you for
here. I'm not
Brecker? You for Tuawan Gonglo? You
Mr.
for where
I
you
am
say
for the
Benana
truth.
Ure?
I
You
am
for
for the truth. First of all, I'm a Liberian. I can switch position anytime that I want. Ain't
oh my
nobody gonna tie me down
anytime
to a
chameleon.
to a
He changes color
no problem,
any
no
our
problem.
enemy.
Because I'm a Liberian. I'm not gonna have myself
Are you a
tied down
chameleon? You
to a space.
changes color?
Mr. So you call me whatever you want to call. I'm not gonna be tied down. That's one thing I want people to know. But here's the thing here. The president, the president of the Republic of Liberia. So president,
You're not
our
helping our president. Oh. You're not helping our president. I swear.
Mr. So, you cannot say that about the liberal. When I see, you know me, when I see something is wrong, perhaps that is being done by the president, or something else that the president is not doing that I think is supposed to be right, I will say so. I'm like, cool. That my hand thing, anybody more, but nobody hand thing my more. What did I do to me? Nothing.
Who want to put a B here in your mouth?
Yeah, well, that's my point. So the point here is this: I must be truthful. I cannot be bent to the will of the majority because the majority says so. If I feel the will of the majority is against my principle, I will speak it. And this is why I'm a liberal.
It's here about you. It's here about the people.
It's about the people.
So why are you inserting yourself into this conversation about you
Mr.
against
many of you, and some of
I am speaking. I am the genuine person speaking for the Liberian people. You are speaking to
according to you. But according to
it's
me,
demonstrated.
No,
it's demonstrated. But you want to
have
satisfy your principles. I
Mr.
am
So,
trying to.
Mr. So,
I am
it is
trying
not
to help the
about
president.
me.
I am
It
trying
is-
to tell the president
It is
things
not
that he needs
you
to
can
do.
say whatever you want to say to the president. It's your job. He's your president. You can say whatever you want to say. You have the freedom. You have the will. And here is the interesting thing. And now when you guys do this, when I speak this truth, then you make me look like I'm somebody here defending Dr. Weah, which is not the case. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that you need to take to the bank. You just said you're here speaking for the Liberian people and you're facing the president. You have the right. Honor his leadership. You, the Liberian people, can criticize and say whatever you want to say about this president without any possibility of you being missing the next day. As I speak to you now, many Liberians that are sleeping right now will be able to wake up peacefully tomorrow morning. Mr. So, let's give credit to what credit's supposed to be. I don't agree with the part. If we're discussing policy, show me one or two policies that this president and his people have brought into Liberia that is affecting the Liberian lives negatively, and see how much against I go for that, and see if I'm going to be against it. No, my point here is this: when many of you take something, and try to tie it around an individual based on that individual action.
Could you cite another example?
Okay, I'll give you an example. People are saying Dr. Weah spoke too late.
What you say?
I don't agree with that.
Who
He
people
spoke at the right
people are
time.
talking about, they are in abstract. I don't know who you're talking about. I don't base on people.
Mr. So, yeah, I don't have to be specific. I'm saying, and those who are saying that they know themselves. So I'm not here to bend to the will of majority, but far from. I'm a liberal. And most of the time when I speak to my mind, people sometimes will agree with me. Other people will say, no, so be it. But I must be truthful. Mr. So, there are certain many times that I come out here on this show, on my own show, where I have gone deep into criticizing the president and his policy. Let's deal with these people based on policy, bad policy that are affecting our people. All night, I've not heard you mention anything about Samuel Twe and the monetary policy that he's implementing in Liberia. All night, I have not heard anything about Honorable McGill and his policy as president.
You know why? You know why I'm not going to waste my time to mention it.
Why is that?
And this is why this bucket of water is right at the feet of the president. That one makes you listen. You were talking, I didn't talk. That one makes you a leader.
Yeah, of course, you didn't talk.
I am
interjecting and interrupting.
Okay. So yeah. No, I didn't interrupt. Yeah, it's the thing. I'm gonna be a little bit illustrative here and do myself as a case study, even though later on we're gonna fire. I realized yesterday, and whatever it is, and I go look, I got a light that tomorrow, if we didn't pay our bills, the official website, you saw the email that I forwarded to you? I forwarded an email to you, right? Mr. To, why are you looking at those? What is your problem with our follower? Why?
No, but I'm not watching your follow. I'm just looking at something. Go ahead. What bill you send me?
No, I didn't say I sent you a bill. I say I forwarded. I want to be a little bit illustrative based on what you said.
Okay.
You are a co-chair for this one network. You have your job to do. I, as an administrator, when it comes to administrative functionings and getting everything going here, it is my job. I can't find no, it's inexcusable to say, oh, I wake up tomorrow and then the official website of the Liberia Public Radio is down before I call you. You will bring me here and crucify me. You're not doing your job. You're not doing this. So what do? I believe in the philosophy of Stacey Abraham at the ready. Get the problem solved and then you address the situation. That is not happening. Who appoints to where Maggie and all of these people that we are talking about will frown on them, some of their behavior?
And now, when you bring those kinds of topic, then you will see the truth. And once again, they're evolving liberal. Those people, that's why I've been here saying.
Why are you interrupting me?
So when you say those kinds of policy issues, then you will see me as a true liberal, because those people need to be.
I can tell you, you are false and fake liberal.
Okay, whatever you want to criticize, whatever you want to characterize.
That's my view. That's my opinion.
And you're entitled to it.
You have the right. You have the right to define yourself the way you should.
The way I feel, but you defining me doesn't make me who I am. Okay. I am the liberal. I'm evolving. What point that I want to make it before you interrupt it with your conservative view? Now you're telling me I'm a fake liberal. That's okay, because you don't. You're as a conservative. What will you know about?
I don't even know where you stand.
Okay, but listen. This is where, when it comes to these kinds of policy, I disagree with the president. I would say the president, because I don't believe that almost Samuel Twe policy is helpful to the Liberian economy. Therefore,
why you don't agree with the president?
Because I think Mr. Twe is supposed to, by this time, supposed to be somewhere else. Someone else should be in. Why is it 5 years? 5 years, this president of the Republic, you have not had any kinds of reshuffle. Are you telling me, Mr. President, that all of these people that are charged to carry out your policy, are they doing everything 100%? Is that why they're being kept? No. Those are the kinds of stuff that I come across and come to as being someone who will criticize policy. I'm not going to criticize personality. That's not my job.
So here is the deal. And that's part of the bad advice. You are kind of like cherry picking. Okay, this other side is good. This other side is bad. I will talk about this other side. I will not talk about this side. One day I bend, another day I straight, another day I lie down.
No, there's a word. There's a word for that.
I'm just telling you, so you need to understand.
Liberal, we liberal will consider that to be evolving. Evolving. Go ahead, make your point.
Look, to our viewers, yep, this is the experience of this network. You know, they get a saying that say there's no Bible for a child. There's nowhere, and he been saying that he nothing and anybody more, nobody here feeling more, which of course is it's not arguable. But the thing here is, if we are to, and this goes to even the opposition, you know, it's the same thing that is happening in government. Today, that not everything in the opposition is perfect, it's 100%. They're doing things that are also wrong, and it's unacceptable. They are not showing that maturity of even taking to take state power. But guess what? Yet and still, there are people also in their defense, and that's the same behavior, the same attitude you're doing here. You're confusing everybody every day. Every day you put us into a different situation that we can't handle. But I can tell you, I can handle my own situation. I'm not going to be that morally who can handle a situation. I should be able to handle my situation. So I am saying, let me end. I am saying, I love my president. I want my president to succeed. I would differ with him in policy, in administrative something. But I'll be honest to point out those issues, and I will hold these people who are not even doing the right thing, hold them responsible of them because of lack of honesty. And why is the president, you know, as time goes by, he been in the office. It doesn't matter. There are some things now he got to get used to. You know, sometimes they got to sit and watch, I don't call it, some documentary, you know, go on YouTube and things like that, type some things, some crazy stuff there, and anything you want to find, you can find. and you could potentially, you can practice from there and be able to make informed decision. That is not happening. Why would these people, why would they sit down there? First and foremost, they have these advisors who pay them, so we have all right to call them. Archibald Bryden, what is their role right now? Counsel to the president. You know what it means to be a counsel to the president? More or less, you just everything about the president is it should be right. You should be right on top of it. Are they honestly advising this president? If I was maybe the president, press secretary, or presidential something president to the president, I'm not going to let the president use audio. We're going to mount those cameras, speak, and before we even do that, we will identify potentially where that young man is or family in region. If you don't even want to see us, go show that human side of you, and you're gonna see how it's gonna play out and gonna be battle within the public cycle. You go do recording. Your police chief now, George, he came out and made a ridiculous statement. You are the head. The bus stop is with you. If you can't have it done, if you don't take the bull by the horn, no one else is going to do that.
Mr. So, everything that you just stated, I'm on board. I agree.
You're not humble. Don't join with me humble. I don't want you to capture my kino. I don't want you. You know, when you come, you get a mind to bust my boat engine for me to go into deep sea. I don't need you on board.
Okay, but here's what I'm going to say to that, Mr. So. Now, this is where sometimes
we'll be opening the line. Go ahead to it. I'll be preparing the line.
This is where people always say that perhaps I'm not a defender of this president. Far from it. Far from it. I'm a defender of truth. This is a government, and the president and this government has what they call an executive branch, and within that executive branch, the president have employed so many people to do certain things. This is where I also come down on the side against the policy of keeping people in these positions. These people have shown over and over and over again, as far as I'm concerned, with my own liberal mind, that they are inept. Because of their inept behavior, these things are not going the way they're supposed to go. However, the fact that the president have employed these people, the president must also, I say, if these people are not working in the interest of the Liberian people, they must be sent somewhere else, reshuffle. That has not happened. That's something that I frown on. But with all that said, let us also agree that the president is the president of the Republic of Liberia. Why I do agree that he's the head of the executive, he must not be held responsible on an individual act. That is,
when you say individual, who are you referring to?
Let's I mean, let's just say he himself. When he comes out and make a statement on behalf of the executive, and many Liberians are saying either that he spoke too late, or he's speaking because the international community put pressure on him. He's speaking because he wants to come to America. He's speaking because of the election.
Which satisfy what? Which satisfy which in
zero.
In this
zero. Those should not be connected whatsoever. This has been my argument. Nobody should connect any of these things to the president.
In other words, you and only you, Samson told from Totan, should express your views and opinion about your country.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Why you want to sanction people's opinions?
So please don't throw me in the basket of deplorable this evening here. And I know exactly what you're trying to do, but it's not going to work with me. I'm a liberal. I evolve. I told you that already. My point here, Mr. So, is this. Let's give the president the benefit of the doubt.
What benefit?
Because he's the president of the Republic of Liberia. He has spoken on behalf of the Liberian people. even if it takes 2 months.
His addressing, was it timely or untimely?
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes,
yes,
what?
yes, it was timely. Do you know what all went into the preparation? Do you know what all went into the selection of the language that was used? Do you
Do you
know
think he
how?
knows his?
Mr. Stone, will you please let me line it up to read, to educate you, to disabuse you of your conservative ideas of these things, how they went. The president cannot just get up and start speaking. Yes, he can do that. But on this particular life-threatening issue, on this particular national issue, we expect the president to speak, but speak with a
Let me
sound
tell you something.
mind.
Let me give you some little. Maybe I've not said this before. I formerly worked with the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs, Ministry of Post. Those are the two, and then what? I do
Oh,
command.
what administration? Who administration? Who administration? It might not be the Doma BD administration.
No, I'm just telling you. I don't know how the function. That's something I want to say. I don't know how the function looks like. And anybody who work in government, they will tell you that they sort of change. I don't know whether they have that sort of sophisticated communication now. The police chief, the how you call it, the NSA boss, those the national security, minister of justice, and all of those people. The people that have a communication. Anything on the daily millisecond, the president of the Republic of Liberia is being briefed. I'm not sure what is ongoing now, so that's another thing. But I'm just saying this to say what happens is not in isolation, Mr. Toll. For
I
you
agree.
to you not agree.
Okay,
Don't agree with me.
Okay, I don't agree with you.
Don't agree with me because I don't agree with whatever you're saying here. It's not in isolation. We saw it breeding and it happened live before their very self. And it went to an escalation point that it got out of hand to get us to be where we are. And after 6 days, you think George, what is there, Joe Biden, they want to do that? When he do that, people will end up calling for his resignation. They will end up doing this. That's not what I'm asking for. But I'm just telling you, as a commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Republic of Liberia, it comes with a lot of responsibilities. You are telling me literally here, if there was an armed incursion at our border, the president will wait 6 days, 7 days before he gives order to the armed forces of Liberia to go and protect our citizens. Literally, that's what you are telling me. Who is calling you on the app?
Mr. Soul, just go on. I'm listening to you.
What you're doing is an intimidation in itself. The people, the audience.
Now you're gonna go into the realm of law so that I'm intimidating.
Yeah, man.
Look at the writing these people are writing. Do they look like
it's the connotation of that language? Look at the writing these people writing. Come on, don't do this to our audience.
Nakomo is calling. Let me put him on. Hello?
What happened? My phone not ringing? Samson to not do something again? Oh, it look like if Papi anytime I come on with him, something gotta happen. Wait a minute. Did I put a phone? I want to know if somebody try calling. I'm not sure what is anybody trying? Mikey, please try them a number and see. Don't Samson Toe is trying to seek refuge. Don't mind him. I don't know why, because now your phone is off. My phone, Mr. Johnson? Wait a minute, phone is off. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. No, it looked like we're in one crazy. Hold on. Why would I say the phone is off? Folks, just bear it. Something. Let me try something here because I see Mr. Johnson is saying the phone is off. I want to try here to see whether it will ring. Anytime I come on with you, something gotta happen. I gotta. Oh. Hello? Yeah, you try the 682 number is not working? Say it again. Yeah, it's on the screen. That's what I need to call. Wow, what? This is Mr. Two, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me? Mr. So, can you hear me? Okay, he's off now. No, we can't hear you. We can't hear anything you're saying. Nothing. No sound. No sound from your end at all. Nothing. Nothing. So let me put my number up there for the folks to call. Nothing. Nothing. We can't hear you, Mr. So. In the meantime, while we're doing that, you want me to put my number up? By the time they're ready for me tonight, all their steam, by the time they get to this number, all their steam will go away. I love that. But anyway, let me put my number. Okay, call my number. Let them call my number. 5332048. Now you can come on. You can call that number again so that I can. Why Mr. So is trying to straighten it up. Now come on, go ahead and call. Hold on now. Hold on 1 minute. Hold on, just give me a minute. I should connect you. Okay, hold on. Okay, come on, go ahead. Can you hear me? It's still connecting. Okay. Okay, hold on. Let it connect to the to this. Okay, now go ahead. Now, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
And thank you so much.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
And
Let me put the number they can call while we're waiting for Mr. So. Go ahead, make your point.
Yeah, I hope Mr. So is hearing me. Yeah. First of all, let me say hi to everyone on the platform, all our valued listeners and viewers across the world. And hi to you too, Mr. So.
Thank you.
Tonight you're finding it difficult to defend the president. So I will not have to go there to talk about it because you already exposed yourself. So
thank you.
I'm not gonna go on you too hard tonight. By the way, I like your shirt tonight.
Thank you.
That's one of the reasons I will not even go hard on you because you are attire in our dress code. So it comes with a lot of respect. So I'm not going there.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but on a serious note, first of all, I want to say that I want for all to think about this in another way. Like in the US here, when this kind of situation come out, the press always control the narrative. That is, they keep the information on the air. They keep the people talking about it. You know, so I want for the press or various talk show who especially I want, Cherry and Darling, like Bro Popular Radio to keep the conversation going on. In a sense that I want them to invite experts, like legal experts, to come and discuss the case, like the possible outcome, just in case they go the other way, and what could be some of the reasons I will go that way. So, we can have the kind of exchanges, and then we can see what were the weaknesses from the prosecution side and the defense side, or what were their strengths. So we can look at it, because the thing here is that, like you said last night, the judiciary system is blind. It's blind. That is not for any. It's
so
not in favor of anyone.
Come on, let me ask you this, Mr. So, if you're ready, just take control, and now we'll call your number if it's working. But let me ask you this: if the legal system that we have presently in Liberia, if they were to come out and find these young men not guilty, will you accept the verdict?
Well, I can only accept the verdict in the sense that I have to see how the both team will present their evidences.
Okay.
Then I can come in and say, I've been based upon it, because the thing here is that we don't know exactly what happened. Even though we saw video footage and stuff like that, we got to understand what really happened, and it can only be told to us from the various experts, that is the legal team from both sides, to convince us, and even more to that, the jurors, because I guess they'll be having juror on this particular case here.
Okay.
To
There's a lot of people who are calling tonight to take me to the clinic. So let's try to make it short because a lot of people are on it. Mr. So, can you hear me? Okay, Mr. So is not hearing still. So go ahead and wrap it on that so the other people we can take their call as well.
Yeah. So to just wrap it up quickly, I want for the case to be on the air constantly so that we can keep discussing
I think we can do that. I think I can do that. I think Mr. So can do that as well.
And then lastly, the president of the Republic of Liberia, when last has the president ever conducted a press conference where journalists can ask him, citizens can listen to him to see what's really going on in his government? When last has he done that? And then two, the identical president shouldn't be waiting for 6 days to address the kind of issue.
Okay.
I will expect the president office immediately. He might not be the president to come and speak, but I mean the press secretary to the president who will come up early in a particular time to say, you know what I mean? The president will address the issue. This is something that is really bothering him, but he will address the issue. They come in, 24 hours or maybe in the next 72 hours. You understand? Then we can know our president will speak.
All right. Thank you, Nat. Thanks. Appreciate it. Mr. So, can you hear me now?
Yeah, are you hearing me?
Yeah, yes, clear.
I don't know why.
I'm gonna take my number down now.
No, just go ahead. For some reason, I don't know why.
All right, folks. The number. Then take the number.
Let me take it down. Let me take it down because I tried calling it.
So, folks, go ahead and call the number that is pinned. 916-533-2048. But just remember, when you call and I'm not answering, that means someone else is on there. Let me take this. Samson to Labrador Public Radio. What's your name? Where you're calling from? Please make your point.
Oh, thank you tonight, Mr. Libra. How are you? I'm Sunday Johnson from the state of Pennsylvania.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Johnson. Thank you. Bring it on. I'm listening. I'm here. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, I don't want to go anywhere near you tonight. Yeah. I don't want to be near you tonight. But the only thing I want to say about the president here, I always said this on the Liberty Radio in Liberia. If you hire a security guy and then somebody came and attacked your wife, and then you a little bit away from the home, okay, and this security guy waiting while you are out of the house, okay, and then 6 days later he will call you and say, oh, boss man, somebody came and attacked your wife. 6 days ago. And this is what happened. For me, I know any president that have the mind to feel that the Liberian hire you to work for them, each and every Liberian life is in your hands. And you can hear the country cry. Nothing was happening to a citizen. And you said, domain, like what happened? Even 2 days. If your wife is attacked, and let's take George, I'm not going to bring it to him. Let me just leave it. I just brought it in there. But you have a security to your door, and your wife was attacked, and you went out of town or out of the country. And then 6 days later, the security will call you and say, your wife was brutally attacked in the house and what have you. What will you do, Mr. Libra? That's my question to you. Thank you for the show.
Thank you. We'll write it down and answer you after other people. Go ahead and call. We'll just write your question down. What would I do if my wife was attacked and security called me 6 days later? Thank you. Go ahead. Anybody else? Thank you. Appreciate it. We're waiting for your call. 916-533-2048. If you want to participate, call. What would I do? Liberal Public Radio, what's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
I'm Kula Duato, calling from Australia.
Okay.
I was listening to the conversation tonight, and I found it disturbing by your point making on the president coming out to speak on the life-threatening issues or to all the issues tonight, especially when it comes to this present leadership. The issue that happened in Liberia was something that we expected our president, who we elected to be there for our life and our properties, to protect us. because he has the final say, like you said, the father of the home. Not because the mother is not talking, it doesn't mean that you don't have the power to talk, because the mother is the one that looks after the kids 24/7. The police director were too slow. All the people were slow. The president needed to immediately get order to his office where they can be able to come to the public and make us to come at peace. But everyone were waiting on the president. He has to wait until the American and the other international government speaks before he can come out. That was negligent on the government part, and that was so poor for the Liberian people. Having said that, all the killing that has gone on in the country and all the misbehaving or maltreating of the citizens, the president is not aware. He's right in the country. He hears the citizens, the demonstrates, the protest. What has he done? Nothing. Well, I'm so surprised for you to sit today to back the president because his ministers are not functioning. He appointed those people. He has the power to remove them anytime he wants, once they are not functioning in the interest of the people. So I would like for the president to do more than he's doing now. Or else 2023 will be the final decision making. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, Liberian Public Radio, you want the number to call is up there. Thank you, sir. We appreciate your comment. The number to call up there is up there, 916-533-2048. Mr. So, while we're waiting for the other call, okay, let's take that. Liberian Public Radio, what's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Hey, good evening, Mr. Toll.
Thank you.
And good evening, Mr. So. How you guys doing over there?
Fine. Good.
Okay, my name is Minister Levi Titus Daniels, and I join you from New York. It's so the topic on our discussion is very disheartening to listen to everything that we're hearing. And then I have been listening to cross-section of Liberians all over the place, and even from back home, everybody tried to shift the blame on the president. I know he is the president, so everybody want to say the president, but there is more to this whole thing. The president cannot be everywhere at all times. I think he needs to take the necessary action. People that are supposed to be in control of that situation, that did not arrest the situation, they need to answer for it. But we as citizens, we have to be responsible too when we are doing such a thing. Okay. Yes, it is our right to petition the government, no matter what may. If we see that the government is not doing that which we want them to do, it is our right to call their attention and say XYZ needs to be done this way, or equally so. I think the manner or form in which we conduct ourselves matters. It has been alleged that some of the supers or supers, wherever they are, they were burning tires on the screen during their protest. These things aren't right. You can't do it. You can't do it. I mean, these things frightening our people. We are just from a 14 to 15 year civil crisis. We are still trying to rebuild the minds. We are still trying to get out of that fight. We cannot go back to those old days. We cannot go back to that rebel way of protesting or petitioning our government, asking them to do the right thing. And one of those things that I saw today is very frightening when the soup gathered together today at the campus are listening very carefully to the leaders, when he spoke. And one of those things he said, they're not going to compromise, they're not going to listen to the government, they're not going to sit down, they're going to get fire for fire. And in fact, if we have things he can make them to hide themselves, they're going to give up glory Liberia. Those statements, in as much as we condemn the counter protest, we condemn the incident, we condemn every form of violence, we also have to be condemning the kind of statement. Those statements don't mean well for our nation. Gary, Liberia, or bloody Liberia. I do not know how does that sink into the minds of people. But for me, when I heard that, it reminds me of the dark day. It reminded me of the dark day. So it is saddening, but we hope that the government and people that are responsible to handle these things to really look at it. We are following the case very carefully. We are hoping that the right thing will be done so that we can revert to those days that no one wants to even hear about. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think we got a few more minutes to go now.
Yeah.
You still getting called out?
Yeah, well let's listen to Nakomo is calling back. Hello?
Yeah, Pato, this is not Kemo. I'm sorry, but I'm constrained to call back.
Go ahead.
And there's something that on my chest I really want to get out.
Okay.
I listened to the previous caller, and you were talking about the statement that came from the soup leadership in terms of they're not going to listen to anybody. They're going to, respond fire for fire, what I feel. But I want to remind the caller to on certain things that happened in Lofa County. We saw on the social media where citizen Honorable Thomas Farah was in the midst of the CDC brigade. They were all dressed up in khaki or brown uniform with the CDC militant printed at the back of their shirt with red beret. And and there was no condemnation for anywhere for the government, like for example for the Justice Ministry to come out and say that we don't need it.
Okay.
We don't want this kind of stuff going on in the society. And there was nothing done with that. And now, recently, we just seen on the social media again, Yagan Koluba, he's organizing another group where he's dressing them up in another more uniform again. So they just go to say that if the government is mute on the kind of things going on in society, you will see everybody coming out doing their own thing. So it's almost like they ain't going to listen to nobody. You understand?
Okay.
So when this kind of thing happen in the society, we want the people, we want those leadership to step on it and make sure that nobody should do it.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I call back for. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Liberia Public Radio, please lower your monitor. Please lower your monitor. Your monitor is still there. All right, go ahead, make your point.
Hello?
Yeah, make your point. So Willie is calling. Willie will be coming to you here shortly. Go ahead, make your point.
Yeah, thank you. And the host, my own brother over there, I ain't hear from you guys in a long time. But anyway, let me get to the point. It's a tool. I think what is happening in Liberia is so unfortunate. And I will put this blame directly at the progressive feet. Back in the days when the progressive could not face the government of the day, they had to go through students, small children, to carry on their dirty work. And the day has become a problem in our society where students feel obliged now to come and defend the ill in society. We're doing it the wrong way, and we are not condemning that. We should stop our students from coming into getting the government on national politics. Let us keep the politics on the campus. Just make sure that the campus, are fixed up. They got good learning environment. They got laboratory. Let them advocate for those things. Let them leave the national politics to the opposition political party. Let the political party come out and do the demonstration and all the kind of things. Because now we encouraging a situation that will probably lead to another war in our country among young people. CDC as a political party, the young people are more aware than ever before in Nigeria. CDC has the largest youth or grouping. If CDC will leave off power and another political party take over, the things they're doing today, whoever, when CDC start, it will be something bad for our society. So we should discourage it. We should say, no, we don't want our students to get involved in these things. We should stop it. What else super right? What else CDC cops are right? We should condemn it and say, no, moving forward, we don't want no militant group on the different university campus, not even in the junior high or the senior high school level. They should keep the politics on the campus and talk about student issues on the campus. Leave the national politics to the opposition people. Let them deal with it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
So, you want to call it quit now? We can do that. That's fine.
Yeah. We're just gonna wrap up. It's gonna be a conversation. But I mean, just the last call out, I have a second thought to say students should start, but I more or less the politicians, what they have done now, they are putting the students to do their dirty work. That's all about it because we have an opposition that wants state power. They don't want to go to jail. They want to be on strike on the social media. They are having a podcast to control the narrative so that they themselves cannot be asked question. That's not what people are Laurent Gbagbo of Cote d'Ivoire. That's not what he was doing. And I know people say time has involved or time involved and all of that. That's okay. But the opposition, if they feel that the government is not doing something right, they should be able to take the lead and that.
Mr. So, this guy been calling about almost 5 times. Let me call. Can I
Yeah, pick up your call before we wrap up.
Then you wrap up first. Welcome, Labrador Public Radio. What's your name? Where you're calling from? Please make it brief. Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Good evening, Mr. Samson. Mr. So, this is Phil Hinen calling you from Georgia.
Thank you for calling. What's on your mind? Try to make it brief here because
we're
trying to wrap up now.
What is on my mind, Mr. So, just want to say thank you so much for this topic. I'm sorry that I'm the last person.
Well, we're listening.
Yeah, okay. So I like to give just a short story. Liberia is like a widow who never died, but the husbands always die. What that means is that the current president should be thinking about what this widow needs so that the day the husband dies, this widow will be able to select this guy. Because right now, 2020, everybody like 2023. This widow is Liberia, meaning those people in the country are the one that would decide who becomes president tomorrow. Now, our president has to focus on what he thinks was the reason of becoming president. Everybody can be president, but what the people need is the basic social services. Now, you will realize that President Weah has come for correction. Ask those of you the press, just name one time that an incident has occurred and the president will be very proactive. Never. Now, he's more CDC than the Republic of Liberia. Political party is a medium that people use to get to state power. So when you become president, you no longer, putting the party above the country. But CDC President Weah, he takes CDC to be Liberians.
Okay.
And if you look at the behavior of CDC and all of them that are at the echelon of the party, there's a big division that has been created, especially among the young forces in Liberia.
Okay.
So he needs to come to himself.
All right.
And he coming from the southeast, he's thinking us very, very bad. That's not what our first indigenous president did. He's acting very, very bad and giving us a bad record as people from the southeast. That's what I want to say.
Thank you. All right, Mr. So, please go ahead.
Yeah. So, okay, like I was talking, the growing of these militias, the being that they are growing on a daily basis is dangerous for the country. You listen to the podcast Reloaded. Major political actors, they are dead. Somebody make reference to Representative Kaluba, what they are doing, and people say, okay, they are doing it here. So should we always be doing the wrong thing, or should we need to sit and have a second thought about our country? Let me just play this here quick here. You want to see it. This is that was just in Lofa today. Our correspondent.
We all know that the party will be spring. So the honorable chairman mandated me that to maintain the supremacy of the party. And also we know that soup does not fail. Soup are now go for election and lost election. True. So, everything that soup are go for election and lost election. The way the marriage and man 10,000 military come the then the powerful military and the chairman of the Bangladesh today. You never the
Okay, that was something that happened today, this evening.
Is that
in
the
Lofa.
young man that was brutalized?
No,
The
I'm
one in
talking
the
about
middle
this incident. It just happened late this evening tonight in Lofa. You remember I was telling our correspondent? In fact, yes, the live video is on the page where the community college is being locked down. We don't know what's the latest. This is how this thing has gone. And it's dangerous for the country. That's student rule. Come on, let's take a break. You hear the men are talking that you're taking instruction for. So people seeing this thing, it works out in the highest up. So they themselves too, they also want to be in the eyes of the camera. So he now mobilize the other people to doing their own.
So I don't want to litigate the issue here tonight. First thing, let me just respond to one or two things here. The caller called, then I'll make the point. And yes, if my wife were to be brutalized, and 6 days later, that a security guy to call me and say what happened, yeah, I will be upset, just like many of you. But it's not the same. Number one, and second thing, the student. I want to remind all of you that student organization all over Africa have always been involved in politics. It happens in South Africa. It happens all over. Student organization on campus feature, many of them are featured leaders. The only thing that I say is that let us take away the violence. The violence usually comes from the end of the government. Whatever government that is going against student, they always turn to the student violently, and this always also usually is a downfall of the government if you attack the student. So, but what I want to say here, Mr. So, is this: why I do agree that many of these things, somehow, especially young people, are being used nowadays to do X, Y, and Z. But the genie is already out of the bottle. We sat here for 12 years, and the CDC government, this is the playbook. This is all the thing the soup and other people are doing strictly from the playbook of the CDC. So for CDC and this Iraqi net to come back and frown on this, it's unacceptable as well. And I just want to say here also to the audience, my intent here is not to defend the president as a human being, I wish we all have to anyhow, but I'm not saying that I'm here to defend him if he's doing something. I hear many of you criticize. It's not like I'm not reading these things. I hear all of them. But the point that I want to make is this. Let us also agree to disagree. Not everything that I will say that you will be in favor of. Not everything that you want is what I want to say. So let us agree on that. Mr. So, take it away. I want to thank you very much. First of all, if you're going to be closing now, I want to thank you very much for taking your time tonight to join me and not being stranded here as the technology issue have affected my show tonight. I want to thank you very much for taking up your time to join me. Thank you very much.
All right, so Mr. Todd, you put it into context, and that's why it is. When you see us having here, is we disagree on issue, and when we talk here, believe me or not, it's done. When we after our program, we call, share notes, and talk on other things that will enhance the growth of this network. So we also just want to caution government politicians, and they have their shared responsibility as well as to how they can make their case. One did it the last time, it was wrong. So you also want to follow that path. Then where are we heading? How are we building our nation? So that is a concern. But Mr. Todd, I want to thank you so much. We'll be listening tomorrow morning. What time are you coming on?
9 o'clock. I will be on 9 o'clock. And the folks that are coming on, these are people with lots and lots of money. They're trying to do some, and they are Liberians that are part of this company. And you will truly enjoy, because I spoke with the president, and I also spoke with this guy, the Liberian, who's going to be part of the conversation tomorrow, and I think you will enjoy it.
Okay, all right. Quickly here, Sunday, we're going to be serving our community. A group calling itself Babli District Citizens in the United States will be hosting her convention, I believe, on the 19th of August. They have embarked on this. This is their project being initiated. I believe it's ongoing. But I'm going to be having a conversation with them here on Sunday, right here at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on a special edition of Freedom Watch. Another group from Nima County will be here on the 10th in a special edition of All Things Considered. The group calls itself Tiwagdo Development Association. My understanding is one of the local, not local. What am I going with local? One of the representatives from one of these districts from Nima County will be here to grace the occasions. I'm going to be hosting them here. So you see here that there's a diversity on this network. We don't just only do our national thing, but we also take key on some of the good things that is happening out there. And so this one here, Liberty Hijack, the history of how the loss of liberty divides Liberia. It's a new memoir, is on Amazon, is available on Amazon there, to written by Kai Jerawale. Is a former minister of government. That's his new memoir. I bought one already. It's loaded with a lot of information. Know your history, know your country. Liberty Hijack, the history of how the loss of liberty divides Liberia. It's a new memoir on the Amazon, very cheap by a read about your country, know what is going on and how far we have come as a people, as a nation. The Liberal Progressive, I want to thank you so much for your time, and we'll be looking up tomorrow morning, and subsequently Sunday we're going to be here with more news, information, and entertainment. But I can tell you, you are way badly tonight. Far goes to zero. I'm afraid I will wake you up, so because who knows, you're going to be suffering from body pain before your show pass by you. So I will wake you up. I can do that for you. How's that?
That would be great. That would be great.
All right. Thank you so much, and have a pleasant evening. Folks, thank you so much for your time being with us here. We really, really do appreciate it. We'll go back to these comments, we read, and we take heed, we learn. Please bring in your suggestion. Mr. Johnson, I come and put you on the spot now. I'm still waiting for your phone call. Mr. Sandro Johnson, I'm still waiting for your phone call. He knows what, or we know what we'll talk behind the scene. Please. We need people with the expertise to have these sort of national conversations. It doesn't matter which side you take. We just want to have a civil conversation here. Thank you so much, folks, and have a pleasant weekend. Be safe, and do what is right. And let's pray for our country. The Liberal. Bye-bye. All right, that's how we're going to leave here this evening. Bye-bye, gentlemen.